What's next? Okay, we got 10 people on here, so we got a few more people. So stay with us, guys. Look, Nashville Propel has a huge announcement to make. Um, so we've launched a petition, guys, to demand change in our schools and across the city to ensure success for all children. And what we all know is that COVID-19 has like exposed the inequities in our school system, and so we want to make sure that the children that live in certain communities, like low performing schools and low income communities, are getting, high quality education. We have our Access Denied show on Wednesday, and that show is birthed off of, that those children in particular are excluded or access is denied for them. And so we have surveyed hundreds and hundreds of parents, and we've learned that parents have never been more aware of the education realities that affect students in Black and brown communities. And so right now we have an opportunity, and that's where I need you guys. We have an opportunity to change the future of education and the outcomes for our kids across MNPS, and improve their access to learning resources, improving their instructions and how they're delivered. But more importantly, parents must be a part of the conversation. And so this is going to be our way of making sure that we are included in the conversation. So we've launched a petition. And so I'm going to have that petition dropped into our Facebook Live right now, so that you guys can start reading it, signing it, sharing it. We have a goal of having at least 500 signatures by the end of the month. And together, guys, that's not going to be a problem. And so I'm asking you guys to please fill out our petition. A couple of things in that petition is to make sure that all children have access to internet and to a device that is loaded with a learning program that is quality. The program should have teachers who are able to give instruction because they've been trained and they have been developed to do so. But also, we want to make sure that parents are also trained on how to use these devices and how to implement these learning programs. Because as you know, when COVID-19 hit, we became our children's teachers. And what we heard from parents is that they had a hard time. They struggled, right? Like, we send them to school because we send them to people who are degreed up and have the expertise in teaching. And so we trust that, right? We trust that we're going to send our babies there. But what happened was we ended up being at home with our children and not really being equipped. And there was a lot of parents that felt helpless. There were some parents who had a quality program and their children did fine. But there were a lot of children who were at home since even the tornado on March 3rd who did not have learning, meaning learning stopped for them. So we want to make sure that that never happens again, right? So we got to be proactive and we got to demand it. So if we don't ask, you ask not, you have not because you ask not. And so we're not asking, we're demanding. So I want to change that language. You have not because you demand not. And so I want to make sure that we demand that. The other thing is we want to make sure that all of our children are assessed by November the 1st. So a lot of us take our children to their regular checkups, and even when things are going on with our children, like they may have a symptom that we may not be able to identify or diagnose ourselves, so we take them to the doctor's office, right? And so they assess them. They don't give them antibiotics or anything until they assess the situation to make sure that they're treating the right thing or to make sure that they're ruling out that anything is wrong at all, right? So we're asking our school system to treat our children the same way. And by November the 1st, we want to make sure that all children have an individual learning plan, not a one-size-fits-all plan, but an individual learning plan to make sure that they reach their greatest potential. The other thing that we want to make sure of is any event that Metro has to use one of their three potential plans for if COVID-19 should get out of control, or even if there are parents that are right now thinking about, man, like, I'm afraid to send my children back to school on August the 6th. I am one of those parents. I have a son who is asthmatic, okay? I'm not afraid, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not sending my son into a potential war zone in order for him to get something like COVID-19 and end up on a ventilator. I'm not doing it. So parents should be able to make that decision, right? Without penalty of truancy, and you should be supported, meaning everything that you need to make sure that your child receives a quality education in a safe manner. You should have that. And it shouldn't be a cost to you. It shouldn't be a penalty to you. It should be understood, that parents have to make the best decision that they can for their children. And so we are demanding that parents be able to make the decision to keep their child at home. And then some of you may want to go ahead and send your kids to school because you may work, right? Like some people cannot stay at home with their children. But you know what? Safety's first, and you want to make sure that there are plans in place to make sure that your children receive a quality education. And if it's not happening in the school that you're in, you should have the choice, the option to send them somewhere that does at no cost and no penalty. So that is the bulk of our petition. And we got this information from parents that we surveyed. We even talked to policymakers on the federal, state, and local level. So we did consult some experts about this. We consulted them about the possibility, the feasibility of this happening, and we concluded that all three of these demands are feasible, they're possible, and they make sense. Make it make sense, guys. So make sure that you fill out the petition, that you share the petition, that you reach out to myself or anyone on our team via our messenger on Facebook, and we will do our best to reach out to people that you may want to talk to about the petition. Maybe they have questions and you can't answer the question, so we'll be glad to connect with them and answer any questions. There may be things that we're missing in that petition, right, that you may have some additional information. So make sure you're reaching out to us, you're communicating with us, and sign this petition. Sign it. Also, I want to make sure you guys stay on top of the MNPS plan for returning to schools. Dr. Battle is going to give more information around July the 6th.